So let's talk about this here. The first thing out of the spread here is the Six of Wands as well as the Nine of Wands. Now, the Nine of Wands, I believe this energy showed up for last month. There is a situation here where you have been battling for quite some time. For some of you, it could pertain to some type of legal dispute, okay? Long-running legal dispute. For others of you, it might definitely relate to some type of like financial arrangement where you and the other person feel as if you feel like you're giving too much, the other person feels the same way, vice versa. So there has been a situation that you've been in a stalemate about, okay? And the Nine of Wands comes out to tell you to not shy away from this conflict and to push through it. It requires one last push, and you're going to be able to achieve a very, very good victory for yourself, okay? So both of these cards coming in together in tandem, especially at the very, very beginning of the spread, both indicates to me to remind you to just keep at it, keep going. You're on the right track. There might be a little bit of obstacle and opposition in your way, but you're going to push through it and you're going to be quite victorious in this endeavor, okay? If it has been a long-standing stalemate or some ongoing issue with another person, I do feel that the energy is going to start to clear up for you, okay? For some of you, I feel like there might be some situation regarding the work environment where you are in the public eye. You are like you have to be on your best behavior, you have to behave a certain way, and you feel like it's really, really not jiving with the person that you believe yourself to be. So this is a situation where our public image, the things that we do for a living, the way that we have to live our lives, the scrutiny that, you know, our professional colleagues, supervisors, and things like that, they're putting us under the microscope. They're kind of like dissecting our lives, and we're really like restricted as to how we're supposed to behave and how we're supposed to project ourselves. And, you know, as a fixed sign, you are very, very, you aim to be very true to yourself. And I do feel that, you know, the whole thing about how can I authentically live my life in a way that doesn't, you know, conflict with the work that I do, or that is still true to me while maintaining, you know, that nice professional work image, okay? So I feel there is a little bit of a conflict of interest coming through between personal life and private life, and trying to find a way to, I guess, like barricade what you do in your personal life. So like, I feel like insulating your personal life so that it doesn't affect your public life or your professional life. And I also feel like a lot of you are at a point where you are rebuilding your professional and your public image. So you are trying to convey yourself in a specific way to target a specific audience. So I do feel that this is a very, it seems to me like a little bit restrictive, because you're really careful about what you're saying, the things that you do, because I feel like it's a little bit of an uncomfortable feeling for you to be under the microscope, to have to behave and curb your behavior, you know, in order to cater to your professional image, okay? So there's a lot of pressure on you, but I definitely feel that you are going to be victorious. And I also feel like there's an energy here, especially for those of you who are in the limelight, who are in any type of a profession where you have to get on stage, where other people look up to you. I feel like, especially if you're like a teacher, for example, politician comes to mind, teachers, people that have to, you know, speak in front of an audience on a daily basis. I definitely feel like you're careful, very, very selective as to who you hang out with, who you associate yourself with, and how you project yourself. Okay, so this is not a bad combination, but I definitely feel like it requires a little bit more of tweaking from your end. Okay, what's coming through next here is the Death card associated with the Star. So we've got some very, very you have, let me see. You have 5 major arcana cards. So this is going to be another very powerful month for you, okay? Um, this is a little bit of a strange combination, okay? So let me just go through it. The death card indicates a situation where it has been very, very transformative, and I feel that you're leaving something behind to embark on a new phase in your life. And this move is irreversible. I don't feel there's any other way to, I guess, get around this, okay? So there has been something in your life that you are going to have to, I guess, leave behind so that you can move forward, and you can move forward in a better manner. What I'm also feeling is, this is innately your card. So when it's coming out in your month, especially, it signifies that life lessons are coming through, okay? And these lessons don't have to be hard, but they are a little bit challenging in that they are forcing you to be a little bit more like authentically true to yourself, okay? So the death card is the card of Scorpio, and the death indicates like situations that can be very, very extreme, So once you cross over that threshold, you can't really go back. Once you say something, you can't really backtrack on your words. So there's a lot of like, I feel like opposite ends of the spectrum energies coming through. You might be in a position where you have to defend your beliefs against people that are diametrically like opposed to you, and you have to like persuade them to your point of view. Okay, you have to battle. Or you have to do it in a way where, it's like soft power versus hard power. You're going to have to do it in a way where you feel like just you have to get your point across by being diplomatic, by being persuasive. But at the same time, you have to be a little bit ruthless so that people understand that you are serious. So I guess like managing, don't err too much on the side of extremes. Aim for a little bit of a middle ground. And I do feel that you're going to be quite successful. Okay. So whatever you say this month, I feel like whatever you say, it's going to be, you're going to have to like, follow through with it. Whatever you do, you're going to have to like either do it all the way or drop it altogether. Okay. So this is a month of extremes. I don't feel it's bad. I do feel that it is a very powerful month where you can regain things that you have lost, and you can regain your power and your sense of freedom. Okay. So there is a little bit of a, last leg of the journey type of a push, and you're going to have a huge victory as well. Now, the star card comes in when it guides us in our life's purpose or our life's direction, okay? The star is a card about major healing, and I do feel like it, especially if you have been in a situation where your public image or, your sense of self-worth has been either corroded in whatever way by whomever. In the past, there might have been, you might have been put in situations, especially professionally or personally, where the other person made you feel less than, where you felt like you weren't good enough. I definitely feel like there is this massive restorative energy coming through that will allow you to break out from restriction, break out from under somebody else's control so that you can reclaim your power. And the wish card also indicates, like major milestones in one's life being reached, okay? So when I see this card, I usually think about like on the professional front, if in the past you have been like kind of ruminating around or kind of like dithering with multiple projects and you're just like, I don't really know how to push this forward, how to move along, and I don't really know, what is my life purpose? What is my sense of direction? Like, where am I supposed to go? Everything seemed very vague, and it seemed like you were kind of fumbling around in the dark, trying to figure out, what is the right path for me. I feel like with this card here, it indicates to you that a new path is basically lit for you. And you're very, very intuitive. So you automatically know which way to go. But by forging ahead with where you're meant to be, I feel like a lot of you know that this is a irreversible change that you cannot go back to. Okay. So I feel like September was the month in which this came to light, that sense of purpose, that sense of direction. It came into the picture, but I feel like a lot of you might not have been prepared or brave enough or ready to forge ahead. And this is the month in which you're not going to have a choice. You're going to have to leave this behind in order to forge ahead, okay? So these are very, very good combinations. It basically means that Scorpios, you're definitely on the right track, okay? And a long cherished dream is going to be achieved. I do feel for many of you, it is on the professional front. I feel like somebody is trying to reach out to you to repair some damages. That's what I'm sensing. But I feel like the damage has been done. You forgive them. I feel that. I do sense that, you forgive them, but you don't want them in your life. That's what I'm sensing, okay? It seems to me like this is an ongoing issue. So damage is done. Too much has been done. And I feel like you're moving on, okay? Now, what's coming through in terms of communication here? Oh, okay. In terms of communication here, we do have the Three of Swords as well as the Nine of Cups. So going back to the initial message that I mentioned, I feel like you're getting a much belated apology. You're getting something in terms of communication that deals with, an esteem boosting type of a communication, so like, for example, if you've had like a conflict in the past with another person and they never, ever apologize to you, I feel like that apology is coming through and it's making you feel quite good. It's sort of like, I knew it, I was right, but I feel like you might not respond to it. And then for others of you, you might be getting some type of communication that makes you feel quite good. Okay, overall, some type of communication from somebody that you've had a lot of like emotional or physical distance from, or you have distanced yourself away from, and you're feeling, quite smug and quite good about it. For others of you, there is a separation here on the emotional front. And I feel like if it was a very, very toxic type of an interpersonal relationship where the other person knows exactly how to push your buttons, or they have a penchant of getting under your skin, or they can be like very, very sharp and cutting. And I feel like even they know how to cut you. They know what to say to get you to do exactly what they want you to do. They know how to guilt trip you. I feel like if you have been dealing with that, I definitely see a severance and a separation from that person. So there's a physical separation. It's good for your emotional health. I feel that you're not going to be heartbroken over it because, the cup's energy represents you. And I feel like you're getting the last word, or at least, whatever has been separated from your life, it's actually going to be more beneficial for you to move forward, okay? So you're coming up on top this month. And we have, the Nine of Wands as well as the Nine of Cups, which indicates to me that, things are gradually being left behind and things are closing up. So you're closing up you're closing some doors to people. You're slamming some doors shut. And you're starting on new projects. You're starting on new relationships, okay? So this is a major transformative month. What else is coming through here? And this is a very, very good combination too. So we got the Death card, which basically means endings, right? Endings. And now we have the Judgment card, which basically means, new beginnings. And what the main message I'm getting from this card is, I do feel a lot of communication coming through. Communication from all kinds of people, professional contacts, friends, acquaintances, family members, just, left and right, you're being hit by a lot of messages. And this tends to happen, I feel, especially during birthday time when we hear from people that we haven't heard from, wishing us well, hopefully wishing us well. But I do see a lot of contact with family members, especially. So I do feel a lot of messages coming back and forth. And I feel like, some messages, like I mentioned, they came in and they might just sit there. You might not know how to respond. You might not want to give it the time of day, or you might not feel like, you know what, I don't know how to respond, so I'm just going to let it sit. Let it sit in my inbox, let it sit in my voicemail, whatever it is. I definitely feel that coming through, okay? And also with the Judgment card, it brings about new beginnings. And for many of you, this can be a culmination to a long-standing struggle. I feel like for a lot of you, if you've been struggling with either court cases, quarrels, disputes, or a situation that has been, ongoing for the past 6 months, I feel like you're dropping it and you're heading in a different direction altogether. A lot of you could just physically be moving home. You're gathering up all of your things. You're moving into a new environment. If you have already done this in the month of September, I feel like this is the month in which you are getting furniture. You're getting like, things to physically decorate your house with, okay? I do see some housing repairs if you haven't had time to take care of them in September. I feel like they might have emerged the end of September. This is the month in which you are getting down and, hiring those maintenance people to finally work on your house, to fix things, to repair some things, okay? But I definitely feel like a lot of movement, communication back and forth, as well as new home environment. And we also have the Three of Cups. Now, this combination greatly signifies to me, well, the Judgment card in the Three of Cups, it's celebration with friends and family, okay? A lot of celebrations, a lot of situation where also, if you have been working really diligently, hard, or, just hard at work on a project, I definitely feel this is a celebratory energy that basically means, your project is being wrapped up, is being done, and there's a celebration by the end of it. If you are looking to publish something, and you are bringing this item that you're hoping to publish, that you're hoping to implement, something that you created, I feel you spent a lot of time on it, possibly the last 10 months. And you're bringing it to an institution to see if they want to publish it, to see how they feel about it. You're getting very good feedback. So you're getting communication about something that you have done, and you're getting approval, okay? So really good energies overall. I definitely feel, the Three of Cups also indicates your dating life, your social life opening up as well. This is a card, based on this deck, I do feel like there are a lot of options that are made available to you, okay? The people that you're coming across in terms of your social circle and your dating circle, I do sense that they're going to contribute to your professional life as well in some way. So they're not just, random people that you're dating. You're dating a higher caliber of people, and they're also going to contribute. Like they might be very established in their field as well. So they are going to contribute more to your professional life as well, okay? We have the Tower here, so I'm just going to draw out 2 cards for you before I go further. So what does the Tower pertain to? Okay, so you've got 3 cards again, Scorpios. First of all, we have potential for new job here or a financial windfall coming through. So the Tower is basically, indicating something that has been built on faulty foundation. It is going to break down, okay? It's linked up here with an air sign. What I feel is there is something very, very unexpected happening with the Tower as it pertains to an air sign, an Aquarius, a Gemini, or a Libra. And I feel like there's something, they could be getting a new job, you could be getting a new job, and I feel like something really unexpected coming through where it's very last minute. And I do feel as well there's going to be some sense of like I feel like either a distance, physical or geographical or emotional distance, that divide is being bridged between the two of you. So I feel like for a lot of you this is very, very positive because, you know, with the Two of Wands in the reverse, I feel like whatever it was in the past that never got off the ground, there's going to be some communication that comes in very swiftly as it pertains to like personal projects, work, professional life, okay? And it's linked up here with an air sign. So I know that sounds vague, but that's what I'm getting here. So let's just go through the advice cards. So you have the sun here, and the sun is basically, you know, public image. It indicates success, it indicates abundance, and it indicates overall a sense of feeling very good about ourselves. In this deck, what I'm getting here is once again, you know, your public image is on display. I feel like somebody is monitoring, or someone is very, very cautious about what you say, about what you do. So you're under a lot of scrutiny, but I don't feel it's in a bad way. Okay, I don't feel that it's in a bad way. And it relates to a situation where you have to be very, very cautious about how you say certain things, how you present certain ideas, okay? And it's linked up with your professional life. So you're going to get a lot of positive reception in the professional front for this month. The Tower, once again, indicates a situation where if there has been a faulty foundation, it's going to crumble. And this indicates, you know, major, swift, sudden changes. When it comes in, we don't even know, like, you know, what happened. And with the Strength card, it basically means for you to not jump to conclusion. Don't jump to conclusion. Ride it out a little bit more. Push forward a little bit further, okay? So if I were to lay these cards out, for example, this one came out first. What I definitely feel here is that for some of you, the current job that you're in, you might realize that you might realize that it's not as stable as it seems, okay? And I feel like for others, you might get recruited for another job. You might get headhunted for another job. You might have another job on the side that you are doing. And you might be offered like a full-time gig. So that means you might have to leave the current job for a different job altogether. And I feel like you're doing the mental math in your head, okay? You're doing the math. And you're just like, well, this situation is not that good anyways. There might be some contracts keeping you there. So you might be hesitant about going ahead with the new job, even though the new job is going to be very lucrative. It's going to pay well. And it might even require a massive move from your end. And I feel like this is a situation that you've been yearning for quite some time. And you might not feel like it was within reach, but somehow for this month, I definitely feel that there's some communication coming through regarding, you know, the viability of this option that you've been eyeing for quite some time. I feel like there is an air sign in your life that is going to be a catalyst for major transformations for this month, okay? So Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra, and we do have the card with the star here, which indicates Aquarius. So there is an air sign in your midst that is possibly proposing something, or that is going to be bringing about a major catalyst of change in your life. And whatever the offer that they are bringing to the table, I definitely feel sincerity. Stability is their aim. So I don't feel like you have to worry about, you know, hidden motives, hidden agenda. I also feel like the offer is very solid and it can be built upon. But they're telling you that, you know, this situation, I feel like, you know, you had to face this sometime in September as well. So I feel like a continuation of something that you were kind of like hesitant about in September, but now you're going to have to do it. And it's basically telling you to work up the courage to go with this situation.